This podcast is brought to you by Australia's LGBTQIA+ community media organisation, Joy. Keep Joy on air by becoming a member, a subscriber, or donate. Head to joy.org.au. Joy, a diverse sound for a diverse community.
Welcome to a Joycast from Joy 94.9. Visit joy.org.au to find out more about our Joycasts.
You're on Joy 94.9. This is Sunday Arts Magazine. Now, if you know me, you know I'm not really interested in cars, and I don't even know what, like people say, oh, look at that car, it's a Ferrari or it's this or that. I go, whatever. But then again, this really sparked my interest when all of a sudden I saw this exhibition was happening, it's called A Dream Factory. I thought to myself, I want to talk about this because it's about a history. Let's get the person on. She's the curator of this exhibition. Harriet, are you there?
Yes, I'm here, David.
Hello, and thank you so much for being on the show today.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
Now, give us a background before we start talking about A Dream Factory. Let's talk about you. Who are you, and why did you get involved in this project?
Well, I'm a design historian, and a number of years ago, in 2015, by a series of very strange circumstances, which we won't go into, but I ended up curating a rather large exhibition at the National Gallery of Victoria down at Fed Square.
Yeah. Called
Shifting Gear.
Right.
And it was about automotive design in Australia.
Uh-huh.
And there it was extraordinary because the gallery insisted on this, and it was very brave of them. We focused on the actual vehicles. So we had 23 cars in the gallery.
Yep.
All of which I could make some sort of case that they had been designed in part or largely in Australia, and that means basically in Victoria or South Australia, or in the case of the Brabham racing car in London,
right? And
by Australians,
right? Was that the one that he won the world speed record? Was that the one? No,
it was indeed.
Oh,
yeah.
Right. Okay.
No. Yeah. Well, he won the Grand Prix.
Prix, right? Okay.
Yep.
And so, why? And you've stuck with this. What were you doing before that? What sort of design stuff were you involved in?
Well, my trade. I am by trade an architectural historian, but when I established the RMIT Design Archives in 2007, and we started collecting archives across all design disciplines, including automotive, it became very clear that there wasn't a lot of work being done in Australia on design history. There's some, but not really compared with other countries. There's not a lot. And so I established a journal from the archives, which focuses on research on architecture and all the other design disciplines. And I started moving into design history. I still do architectural history, but I started moving into design history, and then after shifting gear, a group of us established Automotive Historians Australia. Yeah, it's interesting. It's been going since 2016, and it's a group of us who are really interested in design history.
Yep.
And automotive history generally, and we have a engaged sort of membership, and we have conferences every year, and people, enthusiasts, everyone. It's a very open and inclusive sort of association. We just invite people to come and give papers about what they're interested in.
Right. And Harriet...
so I've been doing that.
Yeah. And so did you like car design, and, were you interested in that, or it's because it's all part of what you do that you're falling into line with it? Or are you like me that don't really have an interest in cars, but all of a sudden this has spiked my interest?
Well, it's a bit of both, really. I mean, it was always a standing joke when I was doing shifting gear that I don't drive.
Oh, really?
And, no. And I actually know, in terms of how a car works and stuff, if you shove me in my head inside the bonnet of the car, I really haven't got much of a clue.
Right.
But being a historian, in a way, that didn't really matter.
Of course.
you're sort of trained to be able to write histories without actually being a practitioner. I don't have to be an enthusiast to be able to write about
absolutely
enthusiasts, and that goes for any design historian. I'm not alone.
Yeah. All right, so this one's called Dream Factory, and it's GHM. Is that right? GHM Design?
GMH.
Of course. Oh, God, you see, that's how bad I am. I don't even know the design names, and I knew I was saying it wrong. That was it's down at Fisherman's Bend, a beautiful Art Deco building. You see, I remember the outside of the building because that's a stunning building down there, isn't it, Fisherman's Bend?
Well, that's the one you're thinking about, the one that was built in 1930.
Right.
That's the headquarters.
Yep.
And the headquarters shifted from Adelaide to Melbourne.
Right.
And that's the headquarter building, which was built in the 1930s.
Yep.
Now, this exhibition, in fact, looks at a different building.
Right.
It looks at the Technical Centre.
Oh, okay.
Which was opened. It's a modernist building. It was designed by a modernist, sort of mid-century modern, if you like. 1964 it opened. It was designed by an architectural firm called Stevenson and Turner. And why I focused on that was that's really, it saw a big shift in Holden design, really, in the 60s, where it really became an integral part of General Motors' global design system, if you like.
And is that building still there as well?
Yeah, the building's still there, and hopefully it will remain there.
Right.
But there's those of us who would love it to become an automotive museum and gallery and archive. Live in hope.
Yeah, and so this exhibition is at the City Gallery.
Yep.
And where's that?
The City Gallery is a very, very tiny gallery next to the Town Hall in Swanson Street in Melbourne.
Yep.
And it's run by the City of Melbourne.
Yep.
And because it's so small, there's only a limited amount of things you can do.
Yep.
And so for this exhibition, what we decided to do is really focus on the Technical Centre and the evidence of design from the Tech Centre, which was drawings.
Right.
And most of the drawings in the exhibition have been taken from the collection of the RMIT Design Archives, although some come from private collections and also from Holden, the Holden Archive.
Because, Harry, they're actually beautiful, and especially the earlier ones, the ones in the 60s. That's where I get off on that sort of design. I've actually seen, the media release and all that with some of the artwork. It is really quite beautiful, isn't it?
Well, I think you're not alone there. I think most people at that period, when you get that recognisable sort of sporty look, you get the first cars that are sort of muscle cars, the HK and the HQ Holden and so forth. And people really respond to those. And we've got some beautiful drawings down there by local designers such as Peter Nankervis and Philip Smoot, but also by one of the American designers, John Chanella, who was brought in with some others to oversee the design studio at Fisherman's Bend for a few years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. A great idea. Where did it come from to put this exhibition on? Obviously with the stuff you did at the NGV years ago, and you've been following it through, as you said. So was it time? Was it now the right moment that you thought, let's do this?
Well, as you can imagine, COVID sort of interrupted the programming of this exhibition. I was commissioned to do it by City of Melbourne and the curator of the gallery, Eddie Butler-Bowden, in 2019. And, of course, it then went into hibernation. And in that time, of course, the whole thing closed down. Fisherman's Bend closed down. The Tech Centre closed down in October 2020. So in a way, this is like a farewell, to 60 years of really great local design effort that we've got on display there from 1960 the 1960s through to the 2000s. We cover about 50 or 60 years.
Yeah, fantastic. And well, the really good thing is that it's got a long run, hasn't it? It's already running now, and it runs to the 31st of August, so which is a good run. Even if like right this very moment we're in lockdown, but we won't be this time next weekend. We'll be out of it next weekend.
Hopefully,
we will be. We will be. I'm determined we will be in my mind. So like it's a free exhibition as well, isn't it?
It's a free exhibition, and the only thing is that the town hall, this part of the town hall, is under scaffolding, so you sort of got to make your way under the scaffolding to the door.
Yep.
And there's a beautiful little catalogue, which is also free, which is designed by Stephen Banham, who also designed the exhibition. So, and that contains a lot of the images that we've used and an essay as well.
Yeah. Fantastic. And what's it called again?
Dream Factory, GMH Design, Fisherman's Bend, 1964 to 2020.
Harriet, thank you so much for chatting today. And, good on you. These are the sort of exhibitions that I love to see around a town, and they're different, they're quirky and a little bit eclectic, and makes us stop and think how beautiful those designs were in the 60s as well.
Good. Well, I hope people get along to see it, because I think it's an important bit of our design culture and design history.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for talking with us today.
Thanks, David. It's been a pleasure.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So get down to the town hall. As Harriet was saying, is that it's right on the end. It's literally on the corner of Little Collins Street there. It's an entrance, and there is some scaffolding up just there. But a beautiful piece of our history. I'm not even into cars, but I've been to see it, and it's pretty damn good. You're on Joy 94.9. This is Sunday Arts Make.
Joy 94.9 is a GLBTIQ community radio station in Melbourne, Australia. Support Joy 94.9 by becoming a member at joy.org.au.
Thanks for listening to another Joy podcast, brought to you by Australia's LGBTQIA+ community media organisation, Joy. Help us keep Joy on air. Head to joy.org.au. Joy, a diverse sound for a diverse community.